22-year-old student Lindsay Gilbert is suing her ex-boyfriend, 25-year-old sales rep Tim George, for 2 suits he charged on her credit card.
Order. All rise. Yes, this is case number 203 on the calendar in the matter of Gilbert versus George. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Miss Gilbert, it is your claim that the defendant, with whom you lived for a period of time, owes you some money for charges that you allowed him to put on your credit card.
That's correct.
When did you live with the defendant?
We actually didn't live together. We were in a relationship for almost a year, beginning of September of last year.
And you say you never lived together?
No.
Just a second. I'll get to you in a minute. Did he ever stay in your home?
He did.
Who else lives in your home?
My daughter.
How old is she?
She's going to be 2 in October.
And when he stayed over in your home, did he ever stay over in your home for more than a day or 2 at a time?
Yes, he did. Sometimes it was, he was in and out of homes at the beginning of our relationship, so he stayed sometimes.
So he didn't have another permanent apartment when you first met?
That's correct.
I
stayed with his sister and me and some of his friends, different friends.
Okay. Now, at what point did you allow him to use your credit card?
After about 5 months of our relationship, we began talking seriously, and in February, the end of February of this year, he was working on a promotion and he needed to be more presentable, and because he has bad credit, he wasn't able to get any suits or anything, and I had good credit, and so he asked me to loan him some money so that he could buy suits.
And you have a credit card?
Yes, I do.
You have the February or March bill from 2001 with his purchase on it?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please.
Okay. Here's the February and March.
Thank you. There's one bill here that's underlined, March 9th, Junior Denim. What is that?
I believe the one underlined, is it Junior Denim? That would be my shorts.
Okay, so that's your bill.
Yes.
And all the rest of his, the polo stuff, ties.
Yes.
Did he pay anything towards the bill?
He paid one. The receipt is attached to the February bill. He paid in the amount of $60 in cash. And in the final arrangements of our relationship, it ended the 26th of May. We were meeting, talking about the bill at his sister's house, and he pushed me around and pulled my hair and stuff, and
stopped paying.
That's not true. If you can see, I have a restraining order against the defendant. I mean, against the plaintiff.
I've got police reports.
Okay, I don't need to look at the police report. We're not about police report. We're about shoes and ties and shirts. Okay, Mr. George, let's hear your version.
My version is I live in my apartment with my 2 best friends, Miles and Marshall.
I want you to listen to me.
Sorry?
I want you to look at me and speak slowly.
Okay.
You lived in your apartment.
Right, with my 2 best friends, Miles and Marshall. We had a nice place. When I met Lindsay, it was the first of, let me think, must have been right after we got back from Phoenix. We went to Phoenix for...
I don't care why you went to Phoenix.
For New Year's, so it was right after New Year's.
I don't care.
January. It was in January, okay? So we got back, we got a place together, okay? I moved out with them 2, you know, and we got a place together.
You mean she moved out of her old apartment?
No, she moved out of her mom or her grandma's house, and I moved out of Miles and Marshall's. You know, we all 3 lived together. They got another apartment. I went and moved in with her. I moved in with her.
Yes.
We lived together, and I work full-time, about 50, 60 hours a week sometimes.
Yes.
She would take me to and from work, drop me off, pick me up from work most every day.
Okay.
I would just sign my paychecks over to her because we were, you know, talking about, you know, being serious enough to get married.
How much were your paychecks?
My paychecks, I bring home about almost $2,000 every 2 weeks.
That was also untrue.
Just a second. So your defense to this action is that you paid for this by turning over your paychecks to her.
Of course.
Is that right?
My thing is I let her
me.
take care of the bills.
Show me.
I can't.
Why not?
Because I moved from Albuquerque to Phoenix, and when this case came up, I'm already living in Phoenix, so I go to the HR department at my job, and I asked them, can I get some copies of those checks where it was signed over to Lindsay Gilbert? And then they said, you know what, we can't do that for you because there's just not enough time to do that. It's a very big corporation.
He did not sign checks over to me.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lindsay Gilbert says ex-boyfriend Tim George charged clothes on her credit card. Lindsay says she wants to be repaid.
You have the capability, Mr. George, only you, of getting proof of your defense, which is that you signed checks over to her.
Right, and
even if I believed you, sir, as of the time you separated in May, there was still an outstanding balance on this account.
I can't tell you what to do with the money that I gave her.
And it is clear that in...
It's clear you have no idea.
I'm speaking. I didn't hear what he said. Do I want to hear?
I can say it again if you want.
Do I want to hear what he said? Why don't you go have a talk with him first?
Okay.
Find out what kind of medication he's on.
What kind are you on?
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,093.17.
You understand?
And you're just lucky, sir, that I'm not sending you out to be tested, because either you are drunk, high, or stupid. Pick one. That's all.
Why is our excuse? You may step out.
Whenever we were together, I moved out of her house because she was real violent.
Not true.
I've always wanted to get up there and tell Judge Judy what I thought, so today I got to do it.
Never, ever trust a guy with my money.
And now the next case.
All parties on Terrell versus Marlowe. Step forward, please.
64-year-old Mildred Terrell is suing her ex-granddaughter-in-law, 24-year-old daycare worker Love Marlowe, for destroying her furniture.
Ms. Terrell, according to your complaint, the defendant married your grandson. Is that right?
Yes.
And there came a time when they were having difficulty paying rent, so you all decided to rent a place together. And you moved in to the place with them.
Yes.
And when you moved into this new place, according to you, you brought some furniture with you.
I bought everything.
All your furniture.
All my furniture, all the dishes, everything in the house was mine.
And then there came a time when your grandson left the defendant.
I moved out before then because of trouble that was going on. And as soon as he was able to take care, he had had surgery on his shoulder, and as soon as he was capable of taking care of the baby, I did move.
They have a baby?
Yes.
How old is the baby?
18 months.
And when you moved out, did you take your things with you?
Only thing I took with me was my bed, an end table, and a chair, and my TV, and a few dishes, and a couple of pants. That's all I took. I didn't want to take everything and leave them with an empty house, because that's what it would have been. Sheets and everything were mine.
And when did your grandson leave?
They were having trouble with the house, not only the rent, but other personal problems they were having. They moved out into their apartment, and they were there, I'd say,
Now, when
2
they
months.
moved out and went into this yet another rental property, did they take all the things with them?
Yes, I told them they could borrow until they got their own.
What did they take with them?
They took my couch. I have a list here, Your Honor.
Let me take a look at the list. VCR, a couch, a lazy boy recliner, vacuum cleaner, some VHS movies, a rug, 3 end tables, a coffee table, a king-size bed, and miscellaneous stuff, linens and dishes, a dresser, those things you said they could take with them. And when did your grandson leave?
Right around the first week in January.
And where did he go? Do you know?
He came to my apartment, was there 3 or 4 days until the harassment got so bad by Love Marlowe and her family that he went to his mother's. And then he was there a while.
And where was the baby?
With him.
Where is the baby now?
With me.
She has temporary joint conservatorship of him now.
Now, when he left and came back to you for a short period of time, did he bring any of these items?
No, he didn't get out of the house with anything but the clothes on his back.
And the baby?
She took his socks, his underwear. She kept everything.
Okay. All right.
And Your
So
Honor,
what's your suit? Just a second.
and one of the times when she was there,
No.
I had a criminal trespass.
How long was your great-grandson with your grandson? Until when?
April 23rd.
Is that when a court granted you temporary conservatorship of the boy?
Yes, ma'am.
And how often does your husband see the boy?
Every other weekend.
Okay. Now, tell me what happened with all this property.
Okay. Well, when we lived in Cleveland, Texas, when she lived with us,
We lived together.
we
Don't interrupt her.
we did not get along because
I don't care why you didn't get along. I'm asking you what happened to the property.
she moved out. She left it all there. She said she didn't want it. You know, we could have it. Well, of course, you know, we took everything that was in the house to our apartment because it was given to us. It was ours. Then we and Andy were not getting along, so he went to his grandma's. Well, I went over there, and he told me he was going to take off with my son, that I was never going to see my son again. So I went to go get a lawyer. I came back. He told me that I could come in to see Josh in her house. So I did. As soon as I went into the apartment to go see my son, she was standing out there and she waved the cops over as soon as I walked in. Well, the only thing that I wanted to do was get my son and get out of her apartment, go back to my apartment, which is just right across the way. Anyway, well then she told the police officer that I had hit her. I never laid a hand on her. Never.
What'd you go there to take your son for? I thought you went there to visit with him.
Well, I wanted to take my son out of her apartment and go into my apartment, and he wouldn't let me. He wouldn't let me leave the apartment and go back to my apartment.
With your son?
With my son, exactly.
Well, but you had no right to him at that point. You had no more right to him than your husband had.
Well, I mean, the only thing I wanted to do was just go into my apartment instead
No, you
of
wanted
stay
to
there
take,
with her.
No, you wanted to take your son.
Well,
do you understand? You
yes,
went there under
ma'am.
the pretext of coming to visit him. But it was your plan to go and take him.
No.
And then take him into your apartment. That's what you just said to me.
No, ma'am. I just wanted. The only thing I asked Andy is that if I could visit him, that I wasn't going to go nowhere with him, that I could just visit with him in my apartment instead of being there in her apartment.
Yeah, but you didn't intend to give him back.
I wasn't going to take
You weren't going-
Josh nowhere.
No, but you weren't going to give him back. You were going to keep him in your apartment.
Well, Andy could have, come over there or whatever. I didn't
Right.
care.
I got it. Now, when you left, what arrangements did you make to get your things?
As soon as I could replace it, I wanted my things back.
What happens if she can't replace them?
Well, I'm sure they could, one piece at a time. Your Honor, why would I, at my age, walk out of a house with a chair and a bed, you know, after I'd worked so hard to get all of it?
I don't know. When you moved out
And
to
I
Texas,
have
it was just a
copies
second.
of pawn tickets where she pawned my stuff.
Did you pawn some of her property?
The movies were mine and Andy's. The VCR Andy had before we got together, and it was Andy's. And the only reason that I had pawned anything because I had to get a lawyer so I could get my son back, because Andy took my son and was gone for 6 weeks and 5 days, and I had no idea if I was ever going to see my baby again.
What does that have to do with my furniture?
Okay. Where are the 3 end tables?
I don't know what she's talking about there. I have no idea.
Is there a king-size bed?
There was, and when Andy come and got the kitchen table and his TV, he threw the bed in the dumpster.
Because there were men's underpants laying on top of the bed and men's shirt on the floor. There were stains on the bed, and I said, I don't want the nasty thing. Throw it in the trash.
You're talking about the mattress?
Yes. So we threw it in the trash.
Okay. Then you can't get reimbursed for it.
Well,
You threw it in the trash.
It wasn't that way before, Your Honor.
Who knows? You haven't seen it for a year.
I saw it before Andy left, and I know it wasn't that way. And I know there was men's underpants and his clothes laying on it that weren't my grandson's.
You can't become emotional about that and expect to be reimbursed for it.
That's fine.
Ms. Terrell, the truth of the matter is, you said to both your grandson and his wife, take this furniture, use it for as long as you need it, as you can replace it. If you said that, as you can replace it, I would like it back.
Yeah.
But there is a strong likelihood that they could never replace it, and you are not going to see this furniture again.
Well, I'm sure sooner or later they
Well,
would
sooner or
replace
later,
it.
then you get a mattress back that's a little bit stained.
Not from other men.
You don't know that. Did you do a DNA test on the mattress?
No, it certainly wasn't
All
Andy's
right.
underpants
So we don't
on the
know
bed.
that. So we don't know that. And I'm not testing your grandson's bed either. That's not my job. All right. You have her couch and you have her recliner. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
She has
You're
the
gonna-
rug. It was in Rhonda's house the last I heard.
Who's Rhonda?
This lady's standing right here.
You have her rug?
Yes, ma'am.
What are you doing with her rug?
Well, I thought it was Love's, and she told me I could borrow it.
Is it in good shape?
Yeah.
Right. Fine. So we have your rug, your couch, and the Lazy Boy recliner. Those are really the big items here.
All the
Good.
movies, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm not going to go into 104 movies. I don't know why you would leave them with 104 movies anyway.
Well, because they didn't have cable. They
Give
didn't
them
have
one,
anything.
give them one at a
that's all
time.
they
Give them
could
one
do.
at a time. I cannot be a divorce lawyer because he's not here, and I can't question him
you
as
can
to
call
whether or
him.
not... What?
He sent a number if you'd like to call him.
I'm not calling him. I'm not doing your evidence for you.
No, his lawyer, really, Your Honor, his lawyer advised him not to be here.
Well, that's fine.
To
So I
not
have to
to
take
argue
things
with Love.
So I have to find things here that everyone almost agrees on, and that is a couch, a recliner, and a rug. Those things I know about.
Vacuum cleaner.
You were without a vacuum cleaner for a year?
Until I bought another one.
Well, so you have one.
It was a brand new one she took.
No, you gave it to the kids to use.
That's
to use.
not giving. I love
No,
it.
you. I gotcha. Ms. Terrell, I'm following where you're coming from, madam.
Well,
I don't think
ma'am,
you're
I didn't
following
give it
where
to
I'm
her.
coming from.
Yes,
Where
ma'am.
I'm coming from is I have children and I have grandchildren, and if you have extra stuff, even if you have stuff that's not extra additional, you say, you don't have anything, kids, here, use this. If you can replace it one day, terrific, I would like it back. Because there's no bargaining.
But you
with
don't
children.
Let it go on forever. Till it's worn out,
Sometimes
then
you
they'll
do.
give it back.
Sometimes you do. And Miss Terrell, I'm going to tell you this. In my view, if your grandson left, set up an apartment, had been awarded permanent custody of his child, and needed the couch and the recliner and the rug and the vacuum cleaner, and brought it to his house, you would not be standing here today.
Yes, ma'am, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
No, Miss Terrell, you would not. What I'm doing is I'm directing you. Within 5 days, the couch, don't make any additional stains on the couch. Don't vandalize it in any way. The Lazy Boy recliner and the rug, which is to go back to her house, post haste. 5 days, the court will draft an order.
How about my end tables and so forth?
She doesn't have them. She doesn't know what you're talking about. Listen, you never know what's going to happen in the future. You have every confidence that your grandson is going to get custody of his child. That may happen. It may not happen. All I'm telling you is don't antagonize this situation any further, because it's nice to have a reasonable relationship with the custodial parent of your grandchild or your great-grandchild. And to make a big deal over 3 end tables at your stage in life is nothing short of being very short-sighted. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step.
34-year-old Piper Acetella is suing her ex-boyfriend's ex-wife, 40-year-old roofing assistant Paula Heyer, for ransacking her home and stealing her belongings.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 172 on the calendar in the matter of Acetella versus Heyer.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, huh?
Miss Acetella, you had a boyfriend with whom you lived for about 9 years, according to your complaint. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
What was his name?
Leo McCullum.
And you used to be married to Mr. McCullum. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
When were you divorced from Mr. McCullum?
In 92.
And you have children with Mr. McCullum.
Yes, I do.
How many children do you have?
I have 4 of my own natural children and 1 that I raised from his previous marriage.
Did Mr. McCullum ever have custody of his children
Yes, at one time, yes.
when he was living with the plaintiff?
Yes, part of the time. Since 96, he had custody.
Which child or children lived with you?
Danielle, Samantha, and Joanna.
So 3 of the girls
Yes, ma'am.
lived with you. Now, according to your complaint, Mr. McCullum attempted to murder you by pouring lighter fluid on you and setting you on fire. Mr. McCullum is currently incarcerated, serving a term of 30 years to life. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
How long were you hospitalized?
A total of 4 months.
While
in
you
the
were in the hospital, it is your claim that the defendant came to the home that you had shared with Mr. McCullum and took all of the property out of the house.
Yes, ma'am.
When you returned home, there was very little there.
I never returned.
Did you ever go back to see what was in the house?
No, ma'am.
Well, how do you know she took your property?
This is my witness. I'd like for her to come up, please.
Okay, well, we may not even have to get to your witness. Mrs. McCullum says that all the property that was in that house belonged to her former husband, and she was entitled to take it. Is that right?
No, Your Honor. I never took anything from the house other than my children's belongings. And I have my daughter, Danielle, who lived at the house at the time that this terrible thing happened. And she can verify as to what Mrs.
So it's
Costello.
your position that you took nothing from the house except your children's clothing?
That's right.
Okay, now I'll hear your witness. So would you step up, please? Tell me your name.
Terry Way.
Miss Way, tell me what you know about the plaintiff's property.
Well, I know that they lived together for almost 10 years, and they acquired furniture. She had jewelry. She had her clothing.
Did you ever see the defendant take any furniture from the house?
I did not actually see her take it, no, ma'am.
So how do you know she has it?
I went there 3 days after she was in the coma to get her belongings from the house and saw that the house had already been ransacked. And there was only 3 people that had keys to the house: Leo, who was in jail, Piper, who was in the coma, and the children. So the children, maybe Paula, I didn't see them actually take it, but they're the only ones that had access to the house to get those belongings.
Did you have to use a key to get into the house?
I didn't actually get into the house. I saw it through the windows.
Did you try to get into the house?
Yes, I did.
Was the door locked?
Yes, it was.
What floors could you see from the window where you were looking?
Mostly the living room and the kitchen.
And had you been to the house before?
Yes, I had.
So what kind of furniture had been there in the living room previously?
There was a couch and a love seat, a dining room set. That's all I can think of at the time.
And all of that was gone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm with you, Miss Heyer.
Okay. First off, I'd like to call my daughter Danielle for a witness. The first time we were allowed into the home, I wasn't even allowed. It was still under crime scene by the police for at least a week. The second day of this, I had to go by the home to have my daughter go in and pick up some medicine. She was escorted in by the police. At that time, I wasn't able to even go into the home.
And what about the third day?
I have no idea on the third day. They were going to contact us. I forget the detective's name at the time where we could go in and remove the children's clothes.
We've underlined the 2 sections that apply.
Well, this is a copy of a newspaper article. This indicates that Mr. McCullum at some point was free on bond of $300,000. So he was freed awaiting trial for a period of time?
Yes, ma'am, almost a year.
When was bail set?
Bail was set, I believe, at the time that he was arrested, but between his attorneys, they wanted it reduced, but our side said no.
Doesn't make any difference. He was free on bail.
Yes, ma'am, but that happened 3 weeks after. He was in jail for 3 weeks before he was released on bond. And I have another article here that talks about the belongings.
I'd like to read that too. The defendant says she doesn't have them. I don't know whether she has them or not, but there has to be some proof that she has them, because there are possibly other explanations as to what happened to the property. I'll get to that in a minute. What's your name?
Danielle.
Danielle, did you originally lie to the police about this fire?
Yes.
You originally lied to the police and told them that your father was nowhere around. Is that right?
No.
Danielle McCullum said that she was standing 5 feet from her father and O'Neill in a neighbor's yard when the woman burst into flames. She said she didn't see a lighter in either of their hands. Later, she said she originally told the detective she had been in her room when O'Neill caught fire. She told the jury Wednesday she lied because she was scared.
That's true.
So why would I believe anything she says?
Ma'am, I never got a phone call. I never got a card asking how I was doing or anything. Nothing. After 9 years.
After 9 years and 3 of the children living with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, they must not be very nice
I had
people.
my very bad faults, but after
Brandy, she drunk.
Excuse me? Listen.
She was an alcoholic.
Well, there had to be
Just out of
some
sitting
reason
in the
why,
house.
listen to me, madam, she may not be perfect, but there had to be some reason why your 3 girls chose to live with their father instead of you. There had to be some reason.
There is. I was incarcerated.
Well, that's a very good reason.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Piper Acetella says her ex-boyfriend's ex-wife, Paula Heyer, ransacked her home and stole her belongings. Piper says the theft occurred while she was in a coma.
She says it wasn't her. It certainly wasn't you. That leaves old Leo. Now, what could Leo have done? Could Leo have given his attorney the key to the house and said to his attorney, in case she makes it, I don't want her to have anything? He could have done that. Maybe even sent it over to her house. Who knows? Anybody who was crazy enough to do what he did could do anything. And clearly, if he was out on $300,000 bond, he had some money. Where did he get the money from for $300,000 bond? From his parents.
Oh, yeah.
So he could have given his parents the key to the house.
They weren't there yet.
They're out of state.
Doesn't make any difference. Gotten it to them, said one way or another, you get into that house and take everything out of that house. I don't want, in case she gets better, I don't want her to have a thing.
Can she explain about Nancy, the woman that actually saw them taking the stuff in and out?
Well, I would like to hear a witness if you have that witness. Where is that witness?
She was reached by telephone, but apparently she couldn't make it here.
Why? Who is she?
She's Leo's cousin's wife.
She came to see me in the hospital quite frequently while I was waiting for her to come out of her coma.
Well, why can't she be here?
She said that she would be here, but she had to talk it over with her husband, and we think that when she did that, and since he's related to Leo, that they didn't want her to show up here because it would be a plus on her side. So she never did return the calls after that.
Do you understand my problem?
Yes.
What?
I know where the furniture went.
Well, then let me hear you.
Okay. Leo's brother, McCollum, had put everything into storage because the landlord had got a hold of him stating that he was going to trash anything and everything that was left in the house because the rent was due. So he took the stuff from the house, put it into storage. I have the receipts where he paid storage for 10 months.
And when was that done?
Just a second. Here we go.
And I was never notified.
So Leo's brother?
Yes.
Leo's brother took the stuff and put it in storage?
Yes, which he paid storage on for 10 months before he took it out.
Well, where is it now?
It's at his residence in Ozark, Missouri.
Your Honor, I was never notified.
With regard to the contents of Leo McCullough's household goods, McCullum removed and put in storage in August of 1999. I kept it in storage for 10 months, which then I moved some of the property into storage in my house. Let us make copies of the storage receipts. Let us make a copy of this before the plaintiff leaves today. Now you know where your stuff is. You know where your furniture is.
Maybe the furniture, but my clothes, I mean, they had a habit of stealing stuff out of my closet.
I know, but you can't prove that. We're talking about major stuff now. I mean, I can't say whether they took your clothes, whether they took your shirts, whether they took whatever. The brother went into the house, according to his own letter. He went into the house. That's what I said. I said, he could have turned this key over to a relative, to his parents, to his brother, and said, get it out of there. I don't want her to have anything, because I'm going to spend the rest of my life in jail anyway. Hopefully.
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 I'll be there to see it.
Right. So, here's this. Try again. Wrong defendant. Got it? Make sure she gets that. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'll be there to see this man in person for the rest of his life, and I will.
She didn't never work. She didn't pay for the booze. She drank every day. She didn't pay for anything. Nothing in that house was hers.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bloom parent versus parent. Step forward, please.
57-year-old Shirley Bloom and her daughter, 23-year-old teacher Terry Parent, are suing Shirley's son, 21-year-old plumber's assistant Jess Parent, for an unpaid loan to keep him out of jail.
According to your complaint, there came a time when your son was facing a prison term or facing jail unless he could come up with some money. You took out a loan so he would have the money, but you needed some collateral, and the only collateral that you had was your mother's car, which you did put up as collateral for this loan. Your brother hasn't paid back the loan. What was he facing jail about?
It was for deferred adjudication, and He had hot checks.
A deferred adjudication, which means if he paid back the money, he wouldn't go to jail.
Right.
Okay, and how much money did he have to come up with?
Altogether, it was like $1,900.
So did he come to you and ask you for the money?
Actually, he came to my mom.
What did he say to you, Miss Blum?
He told me that if he didn't have this money by this certain time, that his probation officer, when his probation was off, that they would automatically give him a year. And if he went to jail, then he would go automatically to prison.
You then spoke to your daughter?
Right.
I used my mother's vehicle. It's a '97 Kia Sophia, and got the lease and the amount of money I needed.
And what were the monthly payments on it?
Every week it was $38.72. On March 23rd, 2001, I paid the loan off, which he didn't help me other than maybe, what, 6, 7 payments of all?
$871 he gave you back.
I had to pay off the loan, which was $1,987.22.
Okay, let's hear from you.
I disagree with everything that was just said, because I'd give my mom money to the fact that if the baby, my sister's baby, needed something, I'd give them some money. Every time I got paid, I'd give them some money.
That's not
true. To help
That's
them out.
not true, Jess. You know that.
I mean, anytime they needed help, I would help them out. And I mean, it's just been going on like this since I was little. I mean, she's been wanting money. I mean, I had a job.
Let's go back.
Okay.
You faced a term of imprisonment on a deferred adjudication. You had to come up with some money, all at one time. Did you ask your mother for the money?
No, ma'am. It wasn't that much.
Just a second.
Okay.
Did you discuss with your mother the fact that if you didn't come up with a bulk piece of money, you were going to go to jail?
No, ma'am. I had a job, and it wasn't that much money. For deferred adjudication, I was not going to, it wasn't having to pay a fine.
Is what you're telling me that your sister never gave you a check to give to the court for fines?
No.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
And that was on or about August of 2000?
Yes. I had a job. I was working.
That's not what I asked you.
Okay.
Are you telling me that you would never, in August of 2000, needed a bulk sum of money to pay fines and other bad checks? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
What's the name of your probation officer?
Dolores?
What's her phone number?
I have no idea.
Oh, sure you do. You have to call and check in with your probation officer, sir.
I went and seen her once a month. I never had a call and check or nothing.
Does that name sound familiar to you?
Yes, it does.
Do you have the telephone number of the probation officer?
No, I don't. I never got anything like that. He would never give it to me because he didn't want me to talk to her.
Do you have a copy of the check?
No, we just have the copy of the loan.
The agreement, the lease agreement.
And I have, these are checks that I picked up with some of that money for him because he was going to go to jail that day if they weren't paid. And the rest of it I gave it to him to pay his fine.
Well, you certainly made restitution on that date, sir. So that takes care of your argument that you didn't need a bulk of money in August.
I didn't. I had to pay a certain payment before that date.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, why would we get the loan if, I mean, I have my own responsibilities,
What did
more or
you do
less.
with the check that you got for it?
I cashed it and I gave him my mother went and paid off some of his hot checks, which we gave you the paperwork on that.
And the rest of it we gave to him.
How many bad checks did you write?
I wrote, I'd say around 4 or 5.
That's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true.
I wrote about 4 or 5 hot checks because I had gotten kicked out of their house. So.
What'd you get kicked out for?
Well, she wanted more money from me, and I only had so much money. I was getting.
That's not true,
I gave
Jess.
her most
That's
of
not-
my check.
No.
Yes, that is true. Every week when I got paid, I got a certain amount. That's all I would get. I'd give her the rent. I didn't mind paying rent. I don't mind doing that. You know,
Well,
I
how
feel
old are you?
responsible. You know,
How
I'm
old are
21.
you?
I don't mind paying rent at all. That's part of life. You know. But I mean, you shouldn't work all week for just like $50 a week when you give your whole check to your mom. I mean, that's supposed to be your mom, not your money taker.
That's right.
You
And
know?
it's supposed to be your mom.
Don't talk to him.
Your Honor, I keep a diary because he accused me several times of taking his money. He'd give me money, right. By the end of the week, he would borrow it all back. And he'd say, Mom, why don't I have any money? So I kept a little calendar, and every time he got money from me, I wrote it down. And I made copies for you, if you want to see them, showing since the time we had to get him out of jail the first time, which was like almost $700 that weekend, getting him out of jail when he got in trouble, that he never paid back.
You been arrested since, sir?
No, ma'am.
How many times have you been arrested altogether?
I'd say twice.
Yes.
I'd say twice.
Yeah.
I'd
Well,
say.
it wasn't nothing besides traffic tickets. I mean, that's why. I mean, I
And
got.
lying to a judge.
Shh.
That's why I got. Well, the second time I got thrown in jail for lying to an officer, and the officer came back and put me in jail for that.
Oh, good. And what's next?
And then the other one was for traffic tickets.
And the other one was for bad checks.
No, I never got thrown in jail for bad checks.
No, because Mama helped and paid.
No, because I worked and paid for them.
No,
You got arrested for
The-
bad. Just a second. You got arrested for bad checks, didn't you?
No, he never
I
got
never
arrested.
got arrested for
Never
bad
got
checks.
arrested
No,
for the bad
because I
checks.
paid them all.
No, he came
so
to
I
us
see.
whining about
I
he was
see.
gonna
He
go to
was
jail.
on probation for something else.
Right.
Oh.
Officer.
Oh, what, for lying to an officer?
Right.
Yeah.
What'd you lie to him about?
I told him a different name because I knew I had a traffic ticket out.
Oh, so, and that wasn't hard to lie to the officer, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Good.
It was a
Judgment for the
class-
plaintiff in the amount of $1,987. That's all.
Parties like
Handler Patty Marr is suing her ex-boyfriend, 37-year-old factory worker James Brown, for a series of unpaid loans. James says the money wasn't a loan until they broke up.
Order. All rise.
Somebody annoying you this morning?
No, not really. Your Honor, this is case number 73 on the calendar in the matter of Marr versus Brown. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Marr, according to your complaint, you and the defendant met on the internet
That's correct.
and began a relationship that lasted a relatively short period of time. During that time, it is your claim that you made loans to him well in excess of $5,000.
That's correct, Your Honor.
The relationship was over, you want your money. The defendant says that he made no promise to return anything that you gave him, that everything that you bought or gave him were just that, gifts, right?
Correct.
Give me the date when, after you met him on the internet, you met in person.
March 20th of 2000.
And how long did the relationship last?
Up through February 27th of this year.
When was the first loan that you made to him?
May of 2000.
Tell me the circumstances surrounding that.
At that time, he would tell me how stressed he was and he needed money for bills, about $500. And he wanted it in cash, and I did that for him.
Where were you when the conversation took place?
On the phone, late at night.
He said, you said?
He was just said he was behind in bills. He didn't know what he was going to do. You know, he was very stressed. And when he gets stressed, Your Honor, he gets chest pains. And
so you said what?
I said, I'll be happy to loan you the money till you can get on your feet. And it was definitely a loan.
You didn't say to him it's definitely a loan. I just want you to tell me what you said to him.
I said, how much would it take to catch you up in your bills?
That sounds right. That sounds like something you might say to him. How much will it take? And he said $500?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. You say he told you it would be about $500. And what did you say?
I said, I'll be happy to get you on your feet.
Okay. That sounds better. Not probably quite accurate. I'll be happy to help you. Or that wouldn't be a problem. I can help you with that. Is that what you said to him?
I will help you out until you can get on your feet. He was unemployed at the time.
Okay, so you said, I'll help you out until you get on your feet.
Mm-hmm. Which he never did, in my opinion.
Right?
Pardon me?
You said, I'll help you out until you get on your feet. Is that a loan?
Yes.
Yes, that's a loan, perhaps, if he ever gets on his feet.
Well, he says he's broke. But I
Then
know
he's
different.
not on his feet?
Well, he
Miss
is.
Marr.
He is employed now.
Not on his feet?
That's a matter of opinion.
I understand that. That's not smart of you. All right. So when was the next time you claimed you gave him money?
Would you like to see?
I don't want to see
Okay.
listen
I
to
mean,
me.
there was tons of times, and the reason I just kept doing it is because he would tell me he had a terminal illness, he had a year to live. He faked heart attacks, and he would threaten to rob a convenience store, and I would panic and think, you can't do that. That's immoral. That's against the law. What can I do so you're not so stressed? He had heart attacks. That is how my husband died. I was just totally worked up.
Not true, Your Honor.
I have proof.
Just a second.
My son here, he has witnessed these things that I have said.
Listen to me. I want you to calm down
Okay.
and calmly tell me the next time you gave him cash, when was it?
It was in October. He had just moved to a different city.
Tell me about the conversation that you had with him. He moved?
I had spent a few days prior to that, and he never brought it up. The minute I get home from the weekend, he says how stressed he is, he's having chest pain, and that he's behind on some bills, and he needed to get them paid. There was utilities, the water was going to be shut off, his cell phone was going to be shut off, no phone, he wouldn't be able to come and call me. So
What did you say?
I
I'll help
said,
you.
what do you need? Why didn't you tell me when I was there?
Okay, and what did he say he needed?
About $600.
You have proof?
Yes, I do.
Can I see it?
Yes, ma'am. Well, let me look at my list here.
The first money in May of 2000, you gave him cash.
That's correct, Your Honor. I have proof that it came out of my savings and cashier's check, that it went directly to him.
I want to know the next cash item that you gave to him.
There's always something, prescriptions.
No, cash.
I made cash deposits right into his checking account. And I have 3 times I did that in July and August. It was right after his back surgery. He couldn't work. He gave me the same old sob story. And I have all that proof right here, Your Honor.
Let me see it.
And that totaled $1,400 in 3 deposits.
I'd like to see proof of that.
Thank you, Bert.
All right, when was the next cash that you gave to him?
At the end of the year, $400. I have the withdrawals, and I gave him the cash.
That doesn't prove anything. You just withdrew $400, but it doesn't show that it was transferred into his checking account. Is that right?
He didn't have a checking account in town.
Yes, I did.
I gave it right to him because he came down to see me, and the only way he could come down to see me is if he rented a car, and so that's why I gave him $400.
All right.
He would constantly give me these stories that would...
Miss Marr, if you're constantly giving you stories, then you say to him, that after the second time he gives you a story, you say to him, adios, goodbye.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Hattie Marr claims ex-boyfriend James Brown conned her out of money by playing on her sympathy. Hattie says he faked a heart condition and a life-threatening illness.
Your story is, and I read your complaint, that your husband had died of a heart attack, that you met him, that you were very vulnerable, that he appeared very, very nice person, that he...
But he manipulated me.
Well, you're a grown-up lady?
But I was grieving at the time.
You're a grown-up lady?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so he took advantage of you?
Yes, by faking heart attacks, by threatening to commit suicide. I would be on the phone for hours.
Well, that would have saved you a couple of bucks if he committed suicide. You know, there comes a point when you say, listen, you got to do what you got to do.
But I cared for him. I loved him.
What?
I cared for him, and I loved him, and I believed and I trusted everything he told me. He had me going all the time.
I got the picture. This is not a hard picture. This is a picture that I see time and time again. I have some money that she could establish she gave to you.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm not talking about buying you a new tire or buying you prescriptions or paying for your cell phone bill. I'm talking about cash money.
Yes, Your Honor. This is my current...
I don't care about your current. I care about the then.
But Patty had made statements that she wanted to talk to her, and she told...
Just pay attention to me.
Okay.
I run the show. And if you have a heart attack here, we'll make sure, very, very sure, sir, that you get out the door so you don't interfere with the rest of my calendar. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand?
Yes.
She gave you cash. She wrote you checks. She deposited cash in your account. Is that true? Is
Yeah.
this proof here that I have accurate?
Yes, it is, but
Perfect.
there is...
No.
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 Your Honor.
I'll ask the next question. Did you repay her in cash for any of this money? $500, $600, and $1,400. Did you repay her for any of that?
If she wanted me to come down and see her, why would I repay her when she wanted me to come down and see her?
The
That's why
answer
she
is
was
either
sending me.
yes or no.
No, I told her there was never no talk about repaying her.
I'm asking you a question. Did you pay her back this money?
No.
You acknowledge that she gave you the money.
Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect. Now, are you currently under the care of a cardiologist?
No, Your Honor.
Did you at any time indicate to the plaintiff that you had a heart condition?
I do have a heart
The answer
problem.
is either yes or no.
Yes.
You did. And did you at any time tell the plaintiff that you were stressed financially?
Yeah, I was stressed financially, yes.
And after you told her that you were stressed financially, she gave you some money.
Yeah, she said, I'll help you out, here's a gift, you know. And I said, I can't afford to repay you. She knew I could not afford to repay her.
Why can't you afford to repay her?
I was unemployed, Your Honor, raising...
Why were you unemployed?
Because I had had back surgery and
A lot of
stomach
people
surgery.
have back surgery. When did you have back surgery?
June of last year.
Where had you been working before that time, sir?
I was working part-time at Walmart.
Part-time at Walmart? How old are you?
37.
Why were you working part-time at Walmart? What's wrong with you?
I had 2 stomach surgeries.
2 stomach surgeries for what?
Stomach, what was polyps, cancer.
You know, I doubt that.
Hmm?
When was the
I'm
last
sorry.
time you held a full-time job?
2 years ago. Well, actually, last year. Year before, it was 99.
Con artist. Are you the current girlfriend? Step up here. When did you meet Sir Lancelot?
I met him in February.
You met him in February?
2001.
Can't be without a meal check. What kind of work do you do?
I'm in internet customer service for Northwest Airlines.
How much do you earn annually?
I don't know, probably 25,000.
And what's Prince Charming doing?
He's working full-time.
Mm-hmm.
He
Where?
has been since I've known him.
Where?
We was at Minn Kota, and now he's at, they make trusts.
So he has a nice job?
Yes.
Good, he makes good money?
Yes.
Perfect. You owe $2,500, judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I had spoke with Patty on the phone, and she basically said if she gave him more money, he would come back, and she was addicted to it.
He faked 2 heart attacks in my home with my son present.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Hansen versus Boren. Step forward, please.
43-year-old census taker Maria Hansen is suing 40-year-old gardener Michael Boren for assaulting her with a garden hose. Maria says the attack occurred when she tried to collect his census form.
Miss Hansen, your complaint is that while you were performing your duties as a census taker, you entered the defendant's home, and while trying to get the information from him that is required in the census, he assaulted you with a garden hose.
Exactly.
When did you go to his house?
May 2nd of last year, and it was probably, it was a little after 8, maybe 8:15.
In the morning or
in the evening? However, the lights were completely on in the house, so at that point I decided, you know, fine, if they're up, I'll do their census.
How
If
long
not,
had you
I
been
won't.
working as a census taker?
Well, this was my 2nd day on the job.
Did you receive any training?
Yes, we had about a week's worth of training.
Were you told as part of your training that if someone decides that they don't want to give you the information, you just leave?
No.
What happens if someone does not wish to cooperate with the taking of the census?
Well, if they slam the door, you just leave. However, by law, everybody, including everybody from the president on down in this country, has to complete a census form.
Okay.
He already had received one form in the
Just-
mail, which he didn't complete.
Who was that, the defendant?
The defendant.
So you ring the bell,
Yes.
And this is a private residence?
Yes. I believe the door was actually open and the TV was on.
What was the next thing that happened?
Well, the defendant got up and he said, and I will quote, well, maybe I shouldn't in court.
No, you have to tell me exactly what he said.
All right. See that sign? It says no soliciting. Get off my porch.
Now, after he made that statement to you, what did you do?
I said, my name is Maria Hansen. I'm here from the census. I'm here to help you complete your census form.
And what did he say?
Get off my porch.
Okay, and so what did you do?
Then, at that point, he walked out of the house.
And you were standing, but you were standing.
I was standing on the porch. And I started to fill out a form that we were given that explains, you know, sorry we missed you. You know, we're census, please call us back. We'll set up a time to interview you, blah, 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 blah.
So he walked out the door, and what did he do?
Well, as I was filling out my form that I intended to leave on the door, but I did not, he was gathering up his garden hose and turning it on.
So
and
what did he
still
do?
screaming obscenities.
Just a minute. So he went to he picked up his garden hose that was in the front yard?
Right.
And?
Turned it on. And as I decided to get out of there fast, because it looked like he was going to hose me down, he did.
If he, you, out. Good. All right, Mr. Borm, now let me hear your version of what happened, sir. Look at me, don't look at her.
I'd say closer to 8:30. I'm minding my own business, private residence, watching television, getting a little late.
Look at me.
There was a knock on the door. I don't have a doorbell. I went to the door, opened the door, a tiny bit, screen door closed, and I said, now she might have confused that I called her name. What I did, I told her in no uncertain terms, you're not welcome here. Get off the property. No questions asked. Leave.
Did you give her any opportunity before you slammed the door or told her to get off the property to explain what she was doing there, sir? The answer is either yes or no.
No.
What I'm going to ask you, sir, is unless you have some severe psychiatric history of which I am not aware, why would you not let this lady explain to you? I mean, she doesn't look like a psychotic person. Why wouldn't you let her explain to you what she was doing knocking at your door at 8:30 at night?
I have no soliciting signs. If
No,
somebody...
that's not my question. This lady does not look like an axe murderer.
No, ma'am.
Why would you not at least let her explain to you what she was doing there before you told her, on no uncertain terms, according to you, to get off your property?
You're right, ma'am.
Good. Then, since I am right, sir, I know I'm right, and I know that your actions on that day were totally inappropriate. The fact that you may have no solicitation signs on your property doesn't preclude you from being part of the human race. And lady came to your home. She could have just as easily come to your home for the purpose of requesting assistance because somebody was injured. She came to your home not to solicit to sell you a vacuum cleaner or a 36-piece set of Tupperware. She came to your home for the purpose of completing a census, which I am sure you received in the mail and threw away, at least once, because that's why she was responding to your location. Your response to that was to assault her. The law precludes you from doing that. Now, Ms. Hansen,
Yes.
suing the defendant for $5,000, and I think that that's an inappropriate amount.
Okay.
You weren't injured, you were humiliated, and you were frightened.
I did suffer from depression afterwards, and I do have a note from my therapist about that.
How long have you been seeing a therapist?
A couple of years I've been on antidepressants.
Okay, so you were depressed before, you were depressed after. This certainly didn't help your depression, unless you go home afterwards and say, listen, I just ran into somebody who's even in worse shape than I am, right? You know, which is something that I would have said, yeah, guy's even worse shape than I am because, you know, at least I can hold it together. Well, so you got to have a sense of humor about that. But I believe that your pride and the fact that he did act in an inappropriate way, there has to be a statement.
Absolutely.
Okay, judgment for the
Absolutely.
plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. Thank you very much. That's all.
Parties are excused.
Year-old family support officer Monica Mathias and her husband, 40-year-old aircraft mechanic Joseph Mathias, are suing 39-year-old roofing contractor Glenn Matheson. The Mathiases claim Glenn's workers tortured their dog during a job at their house.
Order. All rise. Now, this is case number 29 on the calendar in the matter of Mathias versus Matheson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. and Mrs. Mathias, you hired the defendant's firm to re-roof your home.
Yes, ma'am.
And you claim that in the process of working in your home, they tortured your dog.
That's correct.
They entered your home without your permission, or someone entered your home without your permission. Nothing was taken, but you were forced to put new locks on the doors and windows. And you want the defendant to return the price of all the roofing materials that you paid for the house and for your aggravation.
Correct.
Okay. The defendant said his people didn't do anything and he should be paid for his work. I assume you were paid for your work, is that right?
No, I haven't been paid at all.
You haven't been paid at all?
No.
Okay. We'll see. What was the total cost of the job?
Total cost of the job after the second invoice was $7,597.
Can I see it, please? Did you give him any deposit?
No, ma'am.
So you gave him nothing?
No.
Did this price include the materials?
Yes, ma'am.
It did?
Yes, it did.
So you have paid for neither materials nor the roof?
I've paid for the materials, yes.
Who did you pay for the materials?
His supplier.
How much did you pay for his materials?
$2,400.
And is the material money that you want back?
Yes.
Oh. When were you supposed to pay him the balance?
I told him that I'd pay the balance after a person of the court told me to do so in good conscience. I cannot, after what happened.
Okay. Now, you were not at home when this work was done.
I arrived home at 3 o'clock and 2/3 of the job was complete.
You have, I assume, a witness who saw what happened.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the witness? I assume you're the witness. Step up, please. Tell me your name.
My name's Karen Dick.
Are you a neighbor?
Yes, I am.
How far away from the plaintiff's house is your house?
They live directly across the street.
Would you tell me what you saw on that day?
Yeah, typically I get up in the morning and I prepare dinner for the kids. So I got up and I noticed out the window that we have over the sink that the neighbors were having their roof done. I went on about my business, and then as I'm looking out the window, I was at the sink doing something, I noticed there was a sort of a large dog. It wasn't a big dog. It was tall, but it wasn't too big. I didn't really recognize it. I've only been in the home with my boyfriend about 8 months, so I hadn't really met the neighbors. I've only said hello to them. I noticed the dog was on Joe's front lawn, kind of in the middle of about 5 gentlemen who it seemed like they were just kind of scurrying the dog. I didn't know if maybe the dog got out. They were concerned this dog's, interfering with their work, if they were nervous. A few minutes later, I came back to the sink. I now noticed 2 of the workers have hammers in their hand, and they're swinging at the dog. The gates open, so I realized that the workers must have let the dog out. So at first I think maybe they're just trying to intimidate the dog.
What kind of gate was it? Was it a fenced
It's
yard?
It's a fenced yard, yes.
And you saw the
It was open, yes.
Now, when you saw them swinging these hammers, none of the blows connected with the dog?
I did not see that, no.
Okay.
As I'm watching, though, the dog's showing no aggression, so that wasn't the issue. And the dog is kind of scurrying back, and it's sitting back on its back legs. So it was surrendering. They could have easily put it back. At this point, now they're playing a game. The hammers are getting closer to the heads. They're laughing. They're smiling. They're going to hit that dog. So I'm screaming hysterically at the top of my lungs, please stop. What are you doing? And they get my attention, so I'm standing there to make sure they understand I'm standing there watching this. At this point, the 2 men walk away, and the dog's still there. I go back into the home, and my boyfriend's mother, who's about 82, comes into the house, and I'm trying to explain to her, because her English isn't great, I'm trying to explain to her what's going on, and I'm looking out over her shoulder. At this point, I see one of the 2 gentlemen with a rope in his hand starting to do this, and I know what he's going to do. And I'm watching this, and before I can react, He's already got the dog by the two back legs. He's yanked the rope, and by yanking the rope so hard, he forced the dog to flip over on the back side, and from the left side of Joe's house all the way to the front side, to the far right side of Joe's house, through the street, not on the side, but through the street, he drugged the dog on the dog's back. By the
Okay,
I'm
take
sorry.
it.
Okay, I'm fine.
Was there any, when he did that to the dog, when he tied the dog's back legs, were they still right near the fenced-in yard?
No. Thank you. The gentleman that had the rope was standing in the street when he picked up the rope because he's walking down.
So the dog had moved?
The dog really hadn't really moved. The dog was still in the grass, from what I recall. He's still kind of on the grass. He hasn't really gone anywhere. The gentleman takes the rope, and he's walking this way. So he had gone down, I don't know if it's truck, I couldn't see from my window, but he was coming back. And when he came into my view, that's when he had the rope in his hand, and that's where he took the rope to the dog's legs. As he dragged the dog through the street, that's when I ran back outside, and I wanted to make my presence completely known that I'm watching this, and I'm seeing who's doing this. Because he's tugged the rope so tight, there was no way for the dog to break free for quite some time.
How did the dog
Just by wiggling and wiggling and wiggling. At this point, the dog was able to run up to the front porch, and as I'm walking, because I'm moving this way, to see what's going on, the dog, I could see him burrow into the corner on the porch to just be left alone. The gentleman who had the rope walks up and kind of goes down and starts going, trying to get the dog to be nice. And I'm thinking, if you've done all this to the dog, and you're not scared of the dog at this point, how could anyone evenly conceivably say that you were just intimidated by this dog, and that's why you did any of this to get the dog back in the backyard? There was no intimidation by this dog. So I'm just standing there. I'm not going to leave until I can see this dog put back in the backyard. Eventually, the man does sit there. He pets with the dog, and he picks the dog up, and he does eventually put the dog in the backyard, close the door. I go in the house, and I don't know what to do. Again, I don't know the neighbors that well. I'm thinking, should I call the police? I don't want to stir something up, call the police, and then have a problem with the neighbors. So I'm thinking it's better for me to advise them first. I have to go to work, so I call my boyfriend, tell him what's going on, to please make sure that they're aware of what happened, to let them know when I come home from work, I will fill him in on the details. After I'd done that, I noticed the truck was open, and I saw the phone number, so I called the number to see if I could talk to the owner of the company to tell him to please come out, and I would speak to him personally. When I called, the gentleman said that I'd have to leave my phone number, someone would have to call me back, and I wasn't comfortable with that. So I figure it's better for me to let things be until I get home to bring this out. And then that evening, that's when I went over and spoke to the Mathiases and told them what I had seen.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Monica and Joseph Mathias claim employees of contractor Glenn Matheson tortured their dog. The Mathiases say the workers hogtied their pet.
You also claim, Mr. Mathias, that the house was open.
Yes, it was.
Do you have a witness to that?
I have a witness from our mail carrier that said that she delivered...
No, you don't have a witness. If you don't
no, you're correct. I do not have a witness. I have a letter from the mail carrier. Okay, the mail carrier stated to me...
You can't tell me what the mail carrier stated.
Okay.
You can't give me a letter. I have to see a witness testify. You see, testimony is powerful. I can make a determination as to credibility, etc. There's no question that there was no property taken from your house.
I don't believe there was, no.
Good. You weren't there that day,
No, I wasn't.
so you don't know what happened.
Correct. Just from what my foreman, Bernie, just told me.
Okay. What's Bernie's last name?
Ramirez.
Mr. Ramirez, would you step up, please? You were supervising these men that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you watching them at all times?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see what happened with the dog?
Yes, I was there too. I was, when the dog came out, I was talking...
When the dog came out of where?
From the yard.
How did the dog get out of the yard?
One of my workers go inside to collect the electric power, extension cord, and the dog, he leave the door open, and then that's when the dog come out.
So one of your workers allowed the dog to get out?
Right.
Were you told, sir, that there would be a dog there?
Paperwork that I provide suggests that they keep the dog at a neighbor's house or inside the house.
That's not what I asked
No,
you.
I didn't know there was a dog there.
Okay. Go ahead. So one of your workers let the dog out.
So the dog come out and I start playing on the front yard. And I was talking to him by the phone. And so I saw the dog running,
running in the front yard?
On the front yard, in and out. And then, so I was scared because I said, well, maybe the dog is gonna go away. So I tell my workers. So two workers come out from the roof to try to put the dog inside, back in the yard. But I never saw nobody hit the dog, nobody touched the dog.
No, there was no testimony that anybody hit the dog with the hammer.
Yeah,
there was testimony that they were motioning to the dog with the hammer. Did you see the dog being tied up by the back legs?
No.
Well, that happened because there is no question in my mind that this lady is telling me the truth. Any question in your mind that the neighbor is telling me the truth, sir?
I have no idea.
I know, if you have no idea, I'm going to tell you that this lady is telling me 100% truthfully that the dog was tied up by the legs and pulled in the street. And if your worker, Bernie, didn't see that, then he didn't see everything. There isn't a reason in the world that this neighbor, who doesn't know these people from a hole in the wall, would come to court and lie for her and pick up the phone and call your company to tell your company.
I've got records that she didn't call.
Oh.
I get a log of every call that comes into my office.
That somebody records.
Correct.
So nobody recorded. Just a second.
No, either name or number. They don't care. They'll record a message.
She wasn't leaving her name and number.
Correct. She left a message. I show no message.
That's your problem.
Well,
that's your problem.
It states that she didn't call me.
She called you.
She didn't.
Oh, yes, she did.
I don't have record of it. Every call that comes into my office
listen to me,
gets
sir.
recorded.
Listen to me carefully. Don't get defensive. You weren't there. Fortunately, you weren't responsible for this. But I can think of no reason why this woman, who was new to the neighborhood, would be so upset about what she saw to go outside, get the number from your truck, come inside, place a call, speak to somebody who said to her, according to her, which I believe 100%, leave me your number, somebody will call you back. She said, I'm not leaving my number, thank you very much, and she hangs up, and nobody records it in your log.
She said that they took a message to get me out to the job site.
No, that's not what she said. That's what you wanted to hear.
That's what
What she said was she wanted somebody to come to the job site, but they said to her, give me your name and your telephone number, and I'll have someone call you back. And she did not want to do that.
But she requested to leave a message. That message would have been taken and recorded
I didn't
and
say
sent to me.
Just to say, I heard what you said.
Correct.
You're not hearing what I'm saying?
I'm hearing.
I believe she called.
I don't believe she called.
Then that's your problem. Fortunately, I'm in charge. I don't know if Bernie is lying intentionally or if he didn't see everything or if he wasn't watching what was going on there. You think these people are trying to scam you out of a roof?
I believe they're trying quite a bit. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
No. I think that the men that you hired did not do the right thing that day, and they were very angry. Whether or not it translates into them suing you for $5,000, I don't know. But there's no question in my mind, after listening to Bernie and listening to the neighbor, that she is telling me the truth. Bernie, two things. He either did not see everything or he's lying. Because he did not put the dog back in the pen.
I've never known
He
Bernie
did
to
not
lie.
put the dog back in the pen, Bernie. She says somebody came to the front door, one of the men came to the front door and ultimately picked up the dog and put it back into the yard after they got finished doing the stupidity that they were doing to this dog.
I was told the dog was dragged back into the garage. Getting a lot of conflicting stories.
Not
from
to
this
me.
side. Of course not.
Not to me.
I have.
Not to me.
I've received a number of different stories. And the dog doesn't get taken to the vet till 2.5 days, 3 days later after I tell him, no, I'm not going to settle for this. I'm not going to take your word or your neighbor's word. I'm not going to give you financial benefit for this. I said, what do you want? He says, I want money from you. I own your company. I want a free roof. I said, I'm not going to give you a free roof. I'll sleep on it. He sleeps on it, comes back and says, I don't want to pay your labors. You know they're lying to you. You know anyone will lie in order to get paid. Well, to this day, they haven't been paid.
Two people attached to your company did the wrong thing that day with the dog.
It wasn't proven. You have
It's
one
proved.
witness.
Just a second.
You've got
It's
the
proven
vet
to-
who says there's nothing wrong with the
Just a
dog.
sec. I didn't say that the dog was injured, sir. The dog was maltreated. The dog was
She could have
maltreated.
misconstrued what was going on in some parts, yes.
No. This lady didn't come out twice screaming because she was misconstruing what was going on.
She was concerned about how scared she was. Call the police. The police could have been there and taken care of everything. Everything would have been solved right then and there.
It's a possibility. She could have done that. She
But
could
she
have called the
didn't.
police.
So there was.
Give me a reason. Think of a reason.
Why she didn't call the police?
No, think of a reason why she would lie. I can think of a reason why Bernie would lie.
Why is that?
Because he was responsible. He was the foreman on the job. He was responsible ultimately for the performance of his men and
He's
what they
performed
did.
jobs
I'm
for me for 12 years.
I'm speaking. He was responsible ultimately for the performance. And if he came to you and said to you, I did in fact see two of my guys who didn't know what they were doing, who were just sort of fooling around with the dog, and one did put a lasso around the legs, but meant to put it around the head to get it back into the house, or he didn't see everything, or he figured, say nothing. I can
Bernie's
think of
not
a
that
reason
type
for
of
him
guy.
to lie. I can't think of a reason for her to lie.
And I can't think of a reason for him to lie.
Well, I can. So, and that's the only thing that counts. So, you have to prove damages to me, sir. What were your damages? So far, you got a $7,500 roof for nothing.
Yes, ma'am. The hardware replacement for the door locks and everything.
Listen to me. I'm not entertaining your claim for any door locks.
Okay.
Because as far as I'm concerned, they didn't do anything with regard to going into your house.
Okay, I felt in good conscience I should pay the materials for the roof. I'm not going to pay him until an officer of the court tells me to pay him for the labor.
Well, that's not...
Or anything like that.
Yeah.
The pet clinic was $31.
Let me see the vet reports.
And all the material has not been paid.
I have the receipt for
Material
that, Your
from
Honor.
ALL has been paid, but not material from my yard. Not all material came from ALL.
Your countersuit is for $4,500 for defamation of character and lost wages. The defamation of character, I assume, has to do with these people saying things about your business.
Correct. Contacting the Better Business Bureau, threatening to contact the newspaper, and degrading my company.
They are entitled to do that.
Your Honor, he's also put a lien on my house, I believe.
I have every right to lien the house. I haven't been paid for the
You're
for a job.
absolutely right. Is this lawsuit supposed to determine that?
No.
So then why am I hearing your countersuit?
It's not for the lien on the house.
Well, what is it for?
It's for loss of wages for my men for the day, loss
what
of
day?
work for today, for being here.
For today?
Correct.
Forget it. Your counterclaim's dismissed. I believe that they have a perfectly valid claim against you because I believe that the people who represent your company did the wrong thing that day. First, they negligently let the dog out of the yard. That, at least, we know from Bernie. And after that, Bernie told them to go and take care of it. Then one of them dragged the dog across the property, not even the property, not even the grass, but into the street,
With
in
no
the gravel.
damages to the dog.
What?
No injury to the dog. After all this horrendous treatment of the animal.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount requested, $5,000. You're pretty thick.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Walker is suing the wife of her ex-boyfriend, 33-year-old medical clerk Tashawn Stubbs, for breaking her living room window, slashing her tires, and writing graffiti on her garage door. Tashawn is countersuing for harassment.
Order. All rise. Yes, it's case number 101 on the calendar in the matter of Walker versus Stubbs. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
I see a whole bunch of ladies here, but no men. Where is he?
I tried to talk him into coming, but he was too embarrassed to be on TV with this matter. Yes.
They caused the trouble.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
And they just drop it and walk away. So, ladies, let's us have a little talk.
Yes.
You want me to
Miss-
leave?
No, you can stay, Bert. You're close enough. You were seeing the defendant's husband.
Right. Yes.
And you claimed at the time you started to see him, you didn't know he was married. You
Exactly.
found out he was married. Your claim is that even when you broke up with him, or he broke up with you, whatever it was, that his wife, the defendant, vandalized your property, caused you great stress, was harassing you. She says that it's actually you who were doing the stalking, the harassing, the interfering with her family. So I have a claim and a counterclaim, each in the same amount of money, $1,000. Right?
Right.
And somebody has a protective order. Who has the protective order?
I do.
I'd just like to take a look at that document, please. When did you start to see her husband?
Say 96, September of 96.
And how long did you see him?
For approximately a year.
And you haven't seen him since 1997?
Well, actually, I haven't seen him since like 99. Actually, I've seen him, but not as a relationship. I've seen him. Or is him fixing my car? He has a shop. He's a mechanic.
But since 1999, you haven't had a romantic relationship with him?
No.
You telling me the truth?
Yes, I mean, I'm married and everything. I've gotten married and everything, so.
It's over.
Been over.
All right. You have any information?
Yes.
They've been seeing each other since?
She was just trying to convince me that she was still dating him just last month.
How was that?
She was calling my cell phone, and I have my cell phone bill. When she was in the hospital and she was so sick, but she had enough time to call me continuously.
Did you call her for any reason?
Well, actually, she called me, and she came to my house and left a letter at my house on the 12th of April. This is how this whole thing started. She came to my house, left this letter right here, which is the same day that she broke the window, which is the pictures right here.
Just a second, just a second. Did you send this letter?
I did.
Could we talk for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like grown-up gals. You have a husband?
Mm-hmm.
He's your problem.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have anything to do with her husband?
No.
You believe that?
Well, I believe it now.
Do you have children?
No, I don't. I have custody of my niece, though.
How old is she?
9 years old.
How long have you had custody of her?
Well, like the last 6 years. She's been with me for about 6 years.
And you have a husband?
Yes.
How long are you married?
Since August 26th of 2000.
Is he a nice man?
Very.
What kind of work does he do?
In the oil refinery, the oil field.
And do you work?
No, I don't.
So you stay home and take care of your niece?
Exactly.
Any reason you want to have grief with this lady?
Well, no, I don't have a problem with her.
How old are you?
32.
Any reason why you should want to have grief with this lady? Or grief in your life?
No, but what I'm saying is,
the answer
can I
is
explain
no.
myself?
The answer is no.
Okay.
Right? You don't want to have any grief in your life, right?
No, I don't.
You have children?
Yes, I do.
How long have you been married?
I've been married 6 years.
Does your husband work?
Yes, he does.
What kind of work does he do?
He's a mechanic.
You have to find someplace else, by the way, to have your car fixed. I know you haven't been back there in a while. Find someplace else. There are lots of mechanics.
No problem, you're right.
Because that just starts trouble. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You don't want to have any further dealings with her, do you?
Never did.
So why don't we come together, ladies, and come to terms with the fact that all of this trouble started because a guy was cheating on his wife, using 2 women at the same time. Because he didn't tell you he was married, right?
No, he didn't.
That's what you told me. And I'm sure he didn't tell you he was fooling around.
Can I say something?
Yes.
When he was cheating with her and she found out he was married, she thought she should help him to destroy his marriage, and she started calling my job to tell me what color underwear my husband has on as if I didn't wash them.
Just a minute. Let me tell you something. He was the user.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he conned her into thinking he was available, he allowed her emotions to run full circle. And all of a sudden, she finds out he's married. It's much easier to take things out on each other than it is to take things out on the person who's responsible, and that's the guy who was afraid to come to court today, right?
Right.
Why should you two ladies be dumb enough to suffer for what he did, which is really what you've been doing to each other? Both of you have been doing it to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Both of you. And that's ridiculous. He caused the trouble. You know, he makes a mess and he walks away, leaving 2 ladies to fight over him, and he's probably enjoying it, and he's probably not worth it. Very few of them are.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Natalie Walker says her ex-boyfriend's wife, Deshaun Stubbs, broke her living room window with a bottle of Snapple. Natalie also claims Deshawn slashed her tires and wrote defamatory statements on her garage door.
Yeah, what do you want? Tell me.
Yes, I would like to just say that's really not the problem, wanting him or nothing, or bothering her or nothing like this. My problem is this Easter I was in the hospital, and she came up to the hospital 2 days in a row, you know, to confront me and fight me. We had a fight. I have to report everything at the hospital. This is the problem I'm having with her coming to where I am, you know what I'm saying, as a patient in a hospital and create problems for me.
I read that, and I read that you went to the hospital twice. She was in the hospital.
She was. And I did not assault her, and if I did, I would have been arrested.
Why did you go to the hospital?
She asked me to, and here's my phone bill to prove it. She was calling me, and she was so sick, but yet she wasn't too sick to call me on 439, 442, 518, 519.
Why, just a minute, why did you call her house?
No, her cell phone after she called me. I never called her house. No, I didn't.
Why did you call her cell phone?
Because she had previously called me, and I star 69'd her back. That's how I called her back.
What did you say when you got her on the phone?
I called her and I asked her, I said, why would you call me every year on my birthday like this to create a problem for me? I told you I wouldn't mess with your husband. We were just arguing like that over the phone.
Tell me what else was said.
Then she hung up, and then she called me back, and she was like, well, I don't want to cuss. Well, like she said, like I told you, I'm going to make sure you don't mess with my husband, and this is what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to come. I know where you at. You know I can find where you are.
How many times did you call her on her cell phone that day?
Twice.
What'd you call the second time for?
Well, because she hung up. She hung up in my face while we were arguing after she said something.
So what'd you call her back for?
To make my point.
So what was your point that you made to her?
That I wasn't messing with her husband, and I'm very tired of her coming around every so often.
You told her that already?
That was the point I was steadily making.
So then she comes up to the hospital?
Yes.
And she came up to the hospital twice?
Yes, 2
to see
days.
you. And the second time you had her arrested?
No.
Well, no, both. They just wrote it out. They didn't arrest her neither time. They escorted her out one night, and then the other night. It's all in this report. What
Fine.
happened. So if you would like to see it.
No. The second time she came up, she also says it was a mistake. It was the mistake to go to the hospital to see her the first time, right?
It was a mistake.
And it was a mistake to go to see her the second time.
It was a mistake. She baited me there.
I don't care whether she baited you there. Come on. It was a mistake.
It was a mistake.
You got how many children?
I have 3 stepkids and a child me and my husband have together, but we take care of all 4 kids.
So you have 4 children to take care of. You got better things to do than to go to the hospital to visit somebody that you can't stand. Look, as a result of that, there's an order of protection against you.
I filed one against her as well.
But I don't have it.
Well, that's because I just filed today.
Well, but you filed today. Listen to me.
She will
She
get it.
has one
And
against
she'll get
you.
She'll get
Order
hers.
of protection. You have to stay 100 yards, 100 feet, 100 miles away from her. You're not supposed to go near her at all.
Which was violated yesterday.
I did not come within 100 yards of you.
Yesterday, she brought 2 of her friends to my house. They were at my house when I got home. And I was going home to take these pictures to bring to you of my window, so I had a camera with me.
Let me see the window pictures.
And so what I did was, while they tried to run off while I was calling the police, I took a picture of them leaving down the alley because I had the camera. And I got an incident report number that they took yesterday.
That would not be a picture of me,
Can
Your
you give
Honor.
her that? Because this is the report
And that's not
number.
a picture of me. And I also have a picture
Because
of her
you was
window.
in the car, that's why.
Yeah, but I wasn't
You have a picture of a broken window here. When was your window broken?
On the 12th of April. The same time she dropped the letter off.
Okay. Did you see her break the window?
Yes, I was there because I have bars all around, and I have a bar door. I can open my door without going out and see her and everything, the way my house is.
How did she break the window?
With a Snapple bottle, Snapple juice bottle. She threw it as she was leaving or whatever. She threw it into the window.
After she put the note in your mailbox?
Yeah, she came in the yard, put the note, banged on the door, of course. I yelled to her that I wasn't going to come out, be trying to fight with her. And she said what she had to say, cussed and did what she had to do, got in her car and pulled to the side, because you see my gate right there next to the alley, and just threw it. That's that side window by the alley right there.
You have a bill for the window?
Yes. Well, I have an estimate. Yes, I do.
I'd like to see an estimate for the window.
This for the window and the actual tires that she put on the flat.
You'll tell me about that in a minute.
Tell you about that?
In a minute.
Oh,
I want to see the estimate from... Now tell me about the tires.
Okay, here's the picture, the estimate, and everything about that. Wow, this was like right after Valentine's, right?
What year?
This year. She came over once again, banging on the door, yelling, talking about come outside, what she would do to me. I tells her once again I'm not coming outside, so she takes a knife. This car was right here in front of the house, and just stabbed the tires.
You have a police report on that?
Well, actually, this right here, on the 12th, I just made a report. It's just an incident report. I don't have like this right here. This was from '99 when she ran into my garage.
I don't want to see that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
God.
I also want you to see this, Judge Judy.
She is lying.
See what?
This is just a report from the hospital and from my niece who was actually there.
Let me see.
When we, you know, I want you to see
When
that.
I beat her up.
There you go.
What you got?
What kind of conversations did you have in the hospital? First time she came.
On Saturday, when she approached me, we was at the nurse station, she said, I want to know what my husband brought you for your birthday, if you got anything. And I'm like, what? How you gonna come to the hospital and ask me about what your husband got me for my birthday? And so she started cussing. She said, because that's my husband, and I told you to stop messing with my husband, and we got to verbally arguing, and she swung and hit me. This is how my IV came out that particular day, because I had to have surgery to put another one in. And 2 nurses came, the security came. My niece was standing right there with me because I was walking her to the elevator to leave. That's why I was out of my room, period. And they just broke it up. They detained me, put me into the supervisor's room or something, and they just escorted her out. Then
After that incident, I'll get to you in a minute.
Okay.
After that incident, did you call her again that night on her cell phone? Did you call her again?
No, I don't believe I called her that night after that.
You don't remember whether
No,
you
I
called her
honestly
that
don't
night?
think that I called her that night. No, I don't.
Okay, what time of the day did she leave the hospital?
That night, this happened about 9:30 at night.
At night?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any phone record after 9 o'clock at night?
I
Had
wasn't
she
there
called
at
you?
9.
What time were you there?
It was like 8 o'clock, 7 or 8. It was in before
7,
visiting
8,
hours
9.
are
Did you have any
after
phone
visiting
record
hours.
after that she called you?
Actually, Your Honor, I turned my phone off and she just left me.
The answer is either yes or
Okay,
no.
no.
Okay.
I don't have it
Fine.
here.
Fine. Now, the next day she came back. Is that right?
About 10 o'clock Easter morning.
What happened when she came back at 10 o'clock in the morning?
I was at the nurse station, and she approached me and the nurse. The nurse was right there. And she verbally threatened me again. And
What did
said,
she
"When you
say?"
she said, I'm going to find you anywhere you at, and when you get out, I'm going to kick your still. And that's when the nurse immediately called security, so it wasn't no fight or nothing Sunday. Nothing happened. It was just verbal things, and
Okay,
they put her out.
Stop. Between 8 o'clock Saturday evening and 10 o'clock Easter morning, do you have any record of the plaintiff making a telephone call to you?
Yes, I do.
What time?
She called me at 2:27 p.m. and she also called me...
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You didn't understand my question.
I didn't. Let me hear it once more.
Then I want you to pay attention.
Okay.
From 8 o'clock Saturday night until 10 a.m. Easter morning, do you have any record that the plaintiff called you?
Yes.
What time?
10:28 a.m.
No.
Oh.
Before 10 o'clock.
Oh, before. She called me at before 10 o'clock. Not before 10, no.
Then she didn't call you to come back to the hospital. You say in your answer that she called you to come back to the hospital, Miss Stubbs.
I'm just confused, Your Honor. She called
Stop
me.
being confused.
She called me on the 14th.
I'm already past the 14th. You left the hospital. You were escorted out of the hospital.
Well, then she called me all the next day.
I want you to pay careful attention to me, madam. You're escorted out of the hospital Saturday night. You come back to the hospital Easter morning. That's clear from the report.
Okay.
And what I asked you is, why did you come back?
Off.
Your phone was off,
Yes.
so she did not call you.
She did. She left me messages. She left me messages all morning. She called me. Yes, she did.
Oh, well, I don't have those messages.
That's because my phone was off.
You have those messages written down?
No, I
You have
erased them.
Oh, well, that's too bad. Then I don't believe you.
Your Honor, her number's all on
Do
here.
you
She called me.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
She did call me to come back.
No. No. And if she did and you went, you shouldn't have. All right, let's hear your counterclaim. 1, 2, 3, mental anguish.
Your Honor, I have my doctor's statements.
I don't read doctor's statements.
Okay, well, she used to call my job with her sexual harassment, you know, and I would have to leave my job at times. If she had a date with my husband, you know, being the other woman, she would call me, you know, and rub my nose in.
We're talking about 2 years ago.
No, we are talking about recent. She's trying to convince me, and she was trying to convince me when she was in the hospital that she was still seeing my husband. She was saying that he is doing all kind of sexual things to her, and that is what she was trying to convince me while she was in the hospital.
Let me tell you something, Miss Stubbs. When you write a letter to her that says, this time of year I usually have problems out of you by now, could this be that I'm finally rid of you? That you wrote to her on 4/12/01.
Yes.
Which suggests to me that for a long period of time, you had not heard from her. You hadn't heard from her for a long time. What'd you start up with her again for? Because you had no reason to start up with her. And then you write something else. I bet you didn't get any something for your birthday. This time, did you? So you were giving her a little bit of a dig that she didn't have your husband for her birthday this time. You're a troublemaker. Get over it. Your counterclaim's dismissed. I believe that she slashed your tires. I believe that she broke your window. And I believe she came to the hospital to harass you. You're suing her for $1,000, and I'm going to grant you judgment for $1,000. But I'm telling you this, I tried to start out this case very clearly by saying, ladies, if you allow a man to make a fool out of you, you're a bigger fool. And if you allow your husband to make a big fool out of you, then that's what you are, a big fool. Get over it. She doesn't want anything to do with him anymore. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. That's all.
Thank you, Judge Judy.
6-year-old Andy Heath is suing her husband's former co-worker, electrical engineer S. Lyle Marple, for sexually assaulting her at a going-away party. S. Lyle denies the charge.
Order. All rise. I'm getting better at this. Judge, this is case number 31 on the calendar in the matter of Heath versus Marple. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
You've had a lot of years of practice.
Yeah.
Miss Heath, it is your claim that the defendant at some sort of a water party sexually assaulted you while you were riding with him on one of those watercrafts called a sea-doo.
Yes, Your Honor.
When do you allege this happened?
It was August 19th, about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Tell me about the party.
It was a going-away party for one of my husband's coworkers.
It was a going-away party. What kind of a party was it?
A beach party barbecue.
Was it on a lake?
It was on the river, the Colorado River, by the casinos of Laughlin.
Did you know the defendant before the party?
Vaguely. I met him one time outside my garage, and then another.
And he's a
time.
co-worker of your husband's?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long have they been working together?
Approximately 4 months prior to this.
And what time did you arrive at the party?
About 3:30.
And tell me, what precipitated your going for a ride with the defendant on this sea-doo?
Well, he offered to take me for a ride, and I asked my husband. He said it was fine.
Well, he offered, but he must have known that you wanted to go for a ride.
Well, later I found out that my husband had asked him to take me for a ride, Your Honor.
Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, about what time was that?
That was approximately 4:30, 5 o'clock.
And you said okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So you both got on the sea-doo. Who was in the front?
He was driving, I was the passenger.
Okay. Where did you go?
Well, I expected to go just, you know, down a ways and turn around and come back. And he kept attempting to pull off to the side, you know, and just shore the sea-doo. And he finally did, approximately 3 miles later, under the Laughlin Bullhead Sid Bridge. And then he shored it, and I thought he was doing, you know, what we do when we have people on our boat, just letting the passenger cool off. And then he began speaking highly of my husband, that he's a great teacher, he's learned a lot from him, that he was an awesome man and really a good friend to him. And then I said, you know, we've been gone a long time, I think it's time that we go back. And he said, oh, no, but don't you want to drive back? And I said, no, I don't, because I have very sore area here, and I didn't want the handlebars in front of me, Your Honor. And he insisted.
When you say he insisted, He said, no, why don't you drive?
No, he said, I want you to drive back. Why don't you just get on there and drive back? And I said, fine, I'm driving back, let's go.
Okay, so?
And so we got just a little ways under the bridge. Before we took off, he put his hands on my thighs, Your Honor, here, instead of around my vest. And I thought that maybe that's just the way he wanted to hold on. But before we got under the bridge, he pulled his hands up higher into my bathing suit. And I turned to him and I said, what the F are you doing? And he had dead eyes, Your Honor. He didn't hear me. He wasn't there. And so I hit the wake of the ferry and I threw him in the water. But the Sea-Doo wouldn't go because he had the plug on his vest. And then he got back on the Sea-Doo and we got it started again. And just a few minutes later, he put his hands back inside me. And here's my bathing suit. And he, with his right hand, he forced himself inside me. And the harder we hit the bumps, the harder I was driving. He kept pushing himself under my butt. And I kept continuing to scream at him, what the hell are you doing? Knock that off. And then he fell over my back. And I looked up ahead and I saw a man standing on the dock. And I thought it was my husband. But it wasn't, Your Honor. It was the supervisor. And he helped me. And as soon as he put his hands on me, I just got out of the water. And I turned around and I looked at my husband and the man that was leaving. It was a go-away party. And they were having such a good time that I just crawled inside myself. And I just swam in the river.
When, for the first time, did you report this incident?
I reported it to my husband Saturday night on the way going home.
Did you contact the police?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
On the 23rd.
Why did you wait 3 days?
Here's a police report.
Why did you wait 3 days?
I don't know, ma'am.
How long did you stay at the party after you got off the Sea-Doo?
Approximately 2.5 hours.
Why did you stay at the party 2.5 hours?
Because my husband was having such a good time, I didn't want to ruin his good time. I'd also like to offer to the court detective statement.
I'd like to see that too.
And my therapist's statement and my chiropractor's statement for the damage to my neck.
The police department took your bathing suit. Did they return it to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Did they perform any tests on it?
Yes, Your Honor. They said it was inconclusive because of being in the river and the swimming pool. I have it right here, Your Honor.
I don't have to see it. This report says that you didn't tell your husband on the way home. This report says that you told your mother when you got home and eventually told your husband.
No, that's wrong, Your Honor. I did tell my husband, and then when he went to bed, I went in and woke up my mother, and I told my mother, and I showed her the marks and the bruises that he left on me.
Were there marks and bruises on you?
Yes, ma'am.
Where were the marks?
On my genital area.
Would you step up, please? Tell me your last name.
Rose.
Miss Rose, do you live with your daughter and son-in-law?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember that evening of the 19th of August?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell me what you recall of the conversation you had with your daughter?
After she told me what happened, I asked her, let's go in and let me look. I can only look and tell you what I think.
What do you mean you only could tell her what you think?
You know, how it looked and everything, because I'm not a doctor. And
did she complain of any discomfort?
Yes, she did.
What did she say to you about the discomfort?
That it was burning and it was bleeding all around.
All around?
Yes.
So what did you do?
About 6 inches from her hip down, it looked like somebody had ground up meat. All red and dark and black.
Did you see any marks in her vaginal area?
Yes. There was plenty. It was red. It was definitely red. The whole thing was red. Both
Okay.
sides and down.
Have a seat.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Andy Heath says she was sexually assaulted by her husband's former co-worker, S. Lyle Marple. Andy says the attack occurred while S. Lyle was giving her a ride on his jet ski.
All right, Mr. Marple, tell me about the ride that you and Miss Heath took.
Well, the party started like at 3 o'clock. About 3:10, we went down to the pool area, and I started getting stuff out for the party. And then a few minutes later, her husband is yelling for me to give her a ride because she's down on the dock and she won't leave the dock until somebody gives her a ride on the Sea-Doo. So I went up and got the jackets, went down, gave her one. We put them on. We got on the Sea-Doo. When she first got on, she grabbed a hold of my shoulders. Then she grabbed my waist, and we took off up the river. Then her hands were down on my thighs. First, she just wanted to ride. Then when she got on it, she wanted to drive it. So I pulled into the beach. She got off. She jumped in the water, cooled down, and we sat, and she talked for a while, talking about her husband and stuff. And then she wanted to ride the jet ski, so I let her ride. She got on. I got on behind her, and she took off wide open. I told her to keep it slow, you know. And then she just zigzagged down through the water.
At some point, did you fall off?
No.
At no point you fell off the Sea-Doo?
No. As we were going down, she hit a big wave, and we jumped up in the air, which made the Sea-Doo unplug, and we came back down on the Sea-Doo.
But you remained on it?
Oh, yeah. If I would have fell off, it's hard to get back on.
You say he fell off?
Yes, Your Honor.
How did he get back on?
Very easily. He just crawled up on the back of it and got on the seat, plugged it in, and started it up.
All right. Got back to the party, and the plaintiff stayed at the party for a period of about 2.5 hours.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that right?
Yes. We pulled in, and that's when I helped her guide it back up to the dock because I didn't want her to run into the dock and hit the kill switch so we could get off.
There was another young woman who you also gave a ride to on your Sea-Doo.
Yes. Want to ride?
How old is she?
13.
Did she take control of the Sea-Doo at any time?
Yes.
She wanted to drive also.
That's what everybody wants to do. Everybody wants to ride on it, then they want to drive it.
When you gave your ride, were your hands on her thighs or around her waist?
They were right below the vest, which would have been right above her thighs, and on front of her, on her legs. Because when they take off, you got to grab on because there's nothing to hold on to. There's no straps there to hold on to, and everything's wet. When you take off fast.
We live along. Excuse me.
I didn't ask you anything.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Were you a witness to any of this?
Yes, I was.
Oh, then I'll hear you. Step up. Tell me your last name.
Harold Tobin.
Do you work with these gentlemen?
I worked with him formerly, and then he moved on, and so we became friends. And he invited me to a party.
So tell me what you witnessed.
Well, I was going to comment on Sea-Doos. We live on the river. To grab underneath the jacket to help hold on, or there's straps across the jacket for a vest is another hold-on point. So that's a common place to hold on.
So you hold on to the vest.
Right. You grab your hands underneath the vest.
Just listen to me. You hold on to the vest.
Yes.
Not to somebody's thighs.
But understand, yes, I agree.
Right? Thank you. Sit down. I live on a lake, too. I see Sea-Doos all the time. You ever been on a Sea-Doo?
No, ma'am.
Me neither. Ever seen them?
I've seen them.
Ever had a desire to go on one?
Negative.
Me neither. Me neither. Let me ask you this question, Mr. Marple. Would it surprise you if I told you that this 13-year-old girl that you gave a ride to had a measure of discomfort at the way you were holding her during the time that she was riding the Sea-Doo when she was driving it?
Probably at first, because when you take off, everybody about falls off.
I'm not talking about that kind of discomfort. I'm talking about the kind of discomfort that comes from the way you were holding on to her on her thighs instead of holding on to the jacket.
No. If you hold up high, they're controlling you, pushing them back and forth. You hold down here, you're more stable.
He does.
I know.
He does. He grabs the jacket or under the jacket. Life jackets come waist high. So you either grab underneath or you grab around if somebody is thin enough. But I never heard of grabbing hold of somebody's thighs to hold on.
If a life
or
jacket's
legs or upper thighs, because that's what you call the area where you say put at your waist, but you put at your waist, your fingers are extended, that could slip a little bit. That slips a little bit in a place where it's not supposed to be. Mr. Marple, did you take a polygraph test?
Yes.
Did you get the results of the polygraph test?
No, they didn't give me any of it. They didn't give me any tapes, and they didn't give me all the polygraph tests.
Did you ever tell anybody that you passed the polygraph test?
Yes.
Were you ever told that you passed the polygraph test?
No, I just figured I'd pass the polygraph test.
Well, according to the Bullhead City Police Department, the results of the test shows that you were deceptive in your responses, which would mean inconclusive. Did you take one?
No, Your Honor.
Why not?
It's against medical orders.
Against whose medical orders?
My therapist.
Why would your therapist tell you not to take a polygraph test?
I volunteered, Your Honor.
So I don't understand why you didn't take one.
Because my doctor told me that it was against my best interest because I was heavily sedated and having a hard time dealing with this.
Can you think of any reason whatsoever that the plaintiff would make up a story about having been sexually assaulted by you?
I believe she was miserable living in Bullhead City. She wanted to move. So she wasn't happy. She couldn't keep a job. They weren't getting along good at home.
Who told you all of these things?
Just from talking to people. Talking
Was
to her.
that before or after this incident?
This was before.
So before this incident, you knew all these things about her, that she was miserable living in Bullhead City,
Yeah.
that she was unhappy at home?
Yes.
So you think that the response to that was claiming that she had been sexually assaulted by you?
That, and she had nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Like what?
She had money, because she was going to sue. She had more drugs, because she could go to the doctor and complain. So she had the sympathy of everybody that was kind of disgusted with her, and now they were falling over backwards, feeling sorry for her about this thing that happened, which didn't happen. And
Excuse
then,
me, Your Honor, that's incorrect.
What's incorrect, Miss Heath?
That I have people crawling all over me. I can't even stand having people around
Would you step up, please?
Yes.
Mr. Heath, I want you to tell me about exactly when your wife told you about what happened on the Sea-Doo.
I was about halfway home from the party.
And what did she say?
She said that she didn't want me to be upset, but that I had hurt her while she was on the Sea-Doo. And I asked her if she could be more specific, and she pretty much didn't want to tell me about the exact extent of it. It took her about 3 months of therapy and everything before she wanted me to know the exact specifics.
So she didn't actually tell you what happened.
She told me that he had fondled her and groped her
When did she tell that to you?
that night.
That night?
I tried to urge her to go to the hospital, and she didn't want anything to do with that. She just wanted to go straight home. And I thought she was like in shock, so I tried to get her to go willingly to the hospital. And
How long have you been married?
I've been married for 10 years, been together for 12.
Steve, I want you to listen very carefully to my question, sir. Has your wife ever made an allegation of sex abuse against anyone else?
No, Your Honor.
Has she ever claimed that anyone who you worked with or any social friend made any untoward advances towards her?
No, Your Honor.
After she told you about this incident, the next day, what did you do?
I pretty much was trying to talk to her about it, and she kept crying hysterically, and she wouldn't really tell me any of the specifics of exactly, what had happened. She had me go to a visit with her psychologist, and that is when together the three of us sat down, and that's when she told me there.
When was that visit with the psychologist?
It's been a couple of months ago.
Was it shortly after the incident?
No, it's about 3 months.
After the incident.
Yes, ma'am.
Had your wife been seeing this psychologist before?
Never.
Was your wife ever in psychiatric or psychological treatment before this incident?
Never.
Was your wife taking any sort of medication, antidepressants, prior to this incident?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a statement, tell them what I saw, and then my wife needs to make a statement.
Well, I would like to hear what somebody witnessed. You didn't indicate that you witnessed anything.
I witnessed a lot.
Well, let me hear what you witnessed, sir. I'm anxious to hear what you witnessed. Go ahead.
I was one of the first guests to arrive to the party. I met these people at the pool. I introduced my wife to them. I recall the incident where her husband was yelling up to Stanley about giving his wife a ride and that she went off for the ride. I remember her coming back, but I remember her being happy when the vest saying that they hit a hard wake and it unplugged and it came off. We have a videotape showing that she had a wonderful time through the whole party. She left late into the night, and I was surprised because she got in an argument with another co-worker with these gentlemen about an incident said, and I was just surprised how angry she was on that. And the guy was holding his little kid, and after they left, I was asking him what was said, and it was something just minute, but I was so shocked how angry she was. And this was into the night.
Tell me what it was.
It was just her. Okay, what it was is that the guy told me, he was holding his kid, that when he was bent over picking up something or something bent over, the guy said his boss sees him in that position all the time. And then she got angry about it.
So somebody made a sexual innuendo at the party about her husband.
Right.
And she became angry, and in your judgment, her anger went over the top at that point.
But for just that, while after the ride, she was calm and laughing, and
okay,
she was
you said you had a video. I'll look at the video. You have it?
Yes, we do.
Let me see it.
Plaintiff Andy Heath claims she was sexually assaulted by the defendant, S. Lyle Marple, while riding with him on his jet ski.
Before we took off, he put his hands on my thighs, and I thought that maybe that's just the way he wanted to hold on. But he pulled his hands up higher into my bathing suit, and he forced himself inside me.
The defendant denies the plaintiff's allegations.
She had nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Like what?
Money, because she was going to sue. More drugs, because she could go to the doctor. So she had the sympathy of everybody feeling sorry for her about this thing that happened, which didn't happen.
And his witness thinks he has the proof.
We have a videotape showing that she had a wonderful time through the whole party.
Now, the conclusion.
I want to see the video. You have it?
Yes, we do.
Let me see it.
I can explain scenes that I see.
Are there scenes of the plaintiff?
Yes.
After this incident?
Yes.
All right, let me see after the ride.
You're doing great.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. Come on, pose a little bit.
This is good music, Ron.
Oh, you like that, huh? Yeah. Little third world. It's the most beer I've ever seen Stanley drink. How you doing, Stan? You having a good
Is this
time at the
before
party?
or after the ride?
This is after the ride. As you can see Stanley, where he had his vest on, his T-shirt still wet. It's dry where the vest covers his shirt. But this is after the ride.
Now, is that, just a second, is that Stanley dancing around?
That's Stanley dancing around.
All right, that's Stanley dancing.
And that was the defendant.
Was that her dancing?
She's floating in and out.
Do the dancing, baby. Come on, do the dancing, baby.
I'm talking to my husband, Your Honor.
Do the dancing, baby.
Come on, Pam, do it.
If you notice what's going in the background, Your Honor, this gentleman's wife was attempting.
You didn't do it.
Hey, Pam.
You know? Pam almost pulled Stan's pants down, but she chickened out at the last minute.
Do the gorilla.
Okay. Mr. Heath, it did appear that your wife was not, at least overtly, traumatized. This was after the incident.
Yes,
I believe she was in shock, Your Honor.
You're not an expert.
That's true.
You are not a psychiatric expert.
That's true, Your Honor. I've been with my wife for 12 years, and I know her very well. And I know the difference of how she was feeling before and after the ride.
Well, you couldn't tell that she was feeling badly afterwards.
I could tell that the people that we normally hang out with, she totally avoided.
You couldn't tell from looking at that your wife had just suffered a traumatic event.
That's true.
Is that a fair statement?
Yes, it is.
I didn't want him to know, Your Honor.
It may be, but you have the possibility of just withdrawing at the party and sitting down, sitting, having a drink, not saying anything, but you were participating at the party
I was
at this.
Flying all over the place.
You were
Your
flying
Honor.
all over the place. Had you had anything to drink before you went on the Sea-Doo?
Yes, Your Honor.
What did you have to drink?
Snow Creek wine.
What is that?
It's like a Boone's Farm. And I was in the pool so much, I just come back and put ice in it.
Okay, so how many drinks did you have?
One. And also this gentleman's wife and I went to the store to buy a bottle of Malibu rum. And I had a little bit of Malibu rum in with that, but then again, I just kept putting ice in it. I'm not a drinker, Your Honor.
Okay, and what about you, sir? How much did you have to drink?
I had like a beer or two, and then later on I had a few more beers.
Did you drink anything other than beer?
No.
Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, at the end of the party, it was strange because I've really had an enjoyable time with these people. And at the end, after it was that diffusing, she gave me a kiss, my wife a kiss, Stanley a kiss. My wife she spent 80% of the time with this lady in the pool, and it's on the tape. You see them that they're together all the time. My wife has things to say.
I'd like to
It
hear.
also says in here that she needed to be on medication for the rest of her life. And
Sit down.
all right, but Pam.
Yes.
I did spend most of the time at the party with Andy, and we did have a really good time. We drank quite a bit. The bottle of Malibu rum that she did bring, I had one glass, and I know that it was empty at the end of the party.
That's incorrect.
And I'll admit that we were both drunk at the party. When she left, she was very drunk. Her whole demeanor throughout the party with her, she didn't act like anybody that had anything happen to them. I am an RN, I work in an emergency room, and I do take care of women who are sexually assaulted or raped.
Did you see any marks or bruises on the plaintiff?
No, I never saw any marks or bruises, and also on the video, I never noted any marks or bruises on her.
Anything else you want to tell me?
Yes, one other thing. Stanley did obtain her medical records, and it does show that she has been on psychiatric drugs and sedatives for years before this incident. Also has a history of psychiatric problems. It's right there on the paperwork.
What do you take Paxil for?
I was taking Paxil because my mother had 29 surgeries in less than a year.
Well, Paxil is a psychiatric drug. You know that.
Yes,
Shh,
sir.
pay attention.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you start to take Paxil?
About 3 years ago.
So your answer to me that you were not taking any medication, shh, listen to me. Your husband's answer.
Yes, ma'am.
So you telling me that your husband didn't know that you were taking Paxil?
Yes, you did, ma'am.
I don't even know what Paxil is for.
Lorazepam, what do you take that for?
For sleeping. Not any longer.
But you did then?
Yes, ma'am.
When was your last prescription?
Approximately a year ago.
This happened on the 19th of August, 2000?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you go to the doctor on the 2nd of August?
I don't recall, Your Honor.
Did you complain to the doctor at that point that you had a rash on your back, some on your legs, and also in the vaginal area?
No, not in the vaginal area. I don't remember that. I do remember
That's what the doctor reports.
Okay, well then
Miss
that is
Heath.
possible, Your Honor.
That was
but-
on the 2nd. He increased your Paxil to 40 milligrams, is that right?
I believe so, yes, Your Honor.
You also called July 27th, indicating that you were going out of town to take care of your brother and you'll run out of your Paxil. And when they called to check at the pharmacy, they indicate that you had 4 refills for Walgreens.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you had enough.
Yes, Your Honor.
You were also taking sleeping pills before.
Yes, Your Honor.
At some point, did the doctor tell you that they wanted to wean you off these sleeping pills?
I wanted to wean it off.
Doctor reported sometime prior to this that you wanted some additional medication, and the doctor explained that that would be a fraud. Explained to patient that she'll need to be seen before we can refill the lorazepam. Patient states she'll see what she can do to get in.
Yes, Your Honor.
Doctor reports that you started to take some medication due to an attempted suicide in September of 1999, owing to stress. Did you attempt suicide in 1999?
No, Your Honor. That was
Right.
September of 2000, Your Honor.
September of 1999.
No, Your Honor.
Is what this report indicates. You take a lot of Paxil and a lot of the other medication, according to this report.
Not anymore, Your Honor.
Wow.
I'm on different medication.
What kind of medication are you on?
I'm on trazodone and Effexor. Trazodone is for sleep, Effexor is for antidepressant.
But that wasn't as a result of
And
this
Xanax.
incident.
Yes, Your Honor.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Andy Heath says former friend S. Lyle Marco sexually assaulted her at a party. S. Lyle says Andy is lying.
There's a lot of information here. Is there anything else that you want me to read?
My answer to her complaint.
Well, that's self-serving, sir. Your answer is self-serving.
Your Honor, may I make a
Yes.
statement? Her and I did become very good friends. We have a friend in common. She made the interest in the fact that she enjoyed drinking Malibu rum, as did I. The Malibu rum was not empty, Your Honor. I still have it in my refrigerator.
Whether
as
it
of
was
this
or
day.
whether it was not, madam, are you given specific instructions when you take Paxil with regard to any alcohol?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you allowed to have any alcohol if you are taking medication?
No, and I drink wine.
You are not supposed to have any alcohol if you are taking Paxil. Is that right?
Yes.
And you were, in fact, taking Paxil, as well as other medication, on this day.
But that is not instructed on the Paxil bottle.
Miss Heath.
It is on Effexor.
Miss Heath, one of the problems is that when I asked that specific question before, whether there was ever any indication that you had a problem before this, your husband said never a problem, you don't take any medication, there was never any psychotropic medication, nothing. And so that would lend certain credibility to your statements that as a result of this incident, you became so traumatized that you now have stress, can't sleep, you're on medication, you know, all that goes together. But all that happened before. Your husband was not honest with me when he...
Your Honor, I
Mr.
didn't know.
Heath.
I'm not trying to be misleading.
Well, you were misleading to me. Your wife has been on heavy-duty medication for a long time. You know, this is a very, very difficult matter for anybody to handle in a relatively short period of time. There is no medical evidence of sexual assault. So I have to listen to the two testimonies. And I have to find to my satisfaction, by a preponderance of the evidence, that this did in fact occur. My initial reaction from hearing your story was that maybe everybody's a little drunk and he got a little out of hand. That pay careful attention to me. Don't interrupt me. That's why you ask questions, because before you find somebody, in effect, guilty of this kind of horrific experience, you have to be really satisfied. And as a judge and as a woman, I find that this kind of experience can be, and to most women would be, very traumatic. The response to that trauma would be to say to your husband, get your bathing suit, we're leaving. And then I see a tape, Miss Heath, of you apparently partying afterwards. I would have to have some pretty substantial psychiatric testimony from a treating therapist that would indicate to me that due to this kind of stress, you may have been suffering a post-traumatic stress even during this period of time, which so altered your mood that would permit a video to be taken of you seemingly laughing and having a good time, encouraging your husband to dance. But I don't have that. Listen to me. I don't have that expert testimony.
Yes, ma'am, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
You're not paying attention.
I'm sorry.
I don't have what your therapist says happens here because I cannot examine your therapist.
Yes, ma'am.
I do not take this as fact.
Yes,
what I take as fact are your medical records that indicate that you were prescribed over a long period of time serious medication. You complained for a long period of time that as a result of stress you couldn't sleep. You asked the doctor on more than one occasion to provide more medication than the doctor would provide because he says you already have enough. You got that prescription filled 2 days ago. I'm not going to refill it again. That's objective data from the medical records. The statement from your therapist, Ms. Heath, is self-serving, and without that therapist here, I have a difficult time making a judgment, quite frankly, viewing the tape, looking at these medical records, listening to your husband, plus the fact that you decided, whether on advice of your therapist or not to take a polygraph test, despite the fact that he took one. And his polygraph test did not vindicate him, according to the detective's report, because I don't have the polygraph here either. It didn't say you did it. It didn't say you didn't do it. It said some of your answers were deceptive. But it didn't even say that you had declined to take a polygraph test.
She didn't decline. She offered to.
She didn't take it.
Right.
Because if she had taken it, they would have said she took it.
I have something very important to address to you.
Go ahead.
This tape that they have shown was before the ride, Your Honor, not after the ride.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
After the ride, I went over to make sure that I could hold myself together. And I gave him 5. I said, give me 5 to make sure I could hold myself together. And then he was nowhere around me until I was ready to leave, and he was sitting in my seat.
It was after the ride. In fact, if you look at the whole tape, there are parts in there where you can tell. At one point, he asked what time it was. It was like 6:30. You can kind of tell throughout the tape, you know, where he went and got his jet ski and took it back, and especially with him being wet. He only went out in the water. He never went in the pool once. He was only in the water twice. When she got back, we jumped in the water a couple times after that. She was having so much fun. We ran on the dock.
He walked
we
right through the
jumped
grate
off.
next to where I was.
Mr. Heath.
We jumped off the dock and swam to the shore. We were having a great time.
Before the ride?
No, that was after the ride. And if she was assaulted, why would she let a little 13-year-old girl go on the boat right after
Sure,
him?
don't ask them a question.
May I answer that?
No.
Your Honor.
Shh. Listen to me. Accusing someone of what I consider a vicious attack is serious business.
Yes, it is.
And I have to be totally satisfied
Yes.
that this incident occurred as you indicate.
Yes, ma'am.
Because we're not talking about the money judgment that you're requesting so
No,
much,
ma'am.
but we're talking about making a statement publicly that this man violated you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In order for me to do that, I have to feel totally comfortable, Ms. Heath. So what is the objective evidence that I have? The objective evidence is that you were taking very serious medication for a substantial period of time before this happened, medication that should not be taken in conjunction with alcohol. You decided, for whatever reason, not to get your husband, which would have been a totally reasonable response, immediately afterwards and say, let's get out of here. We're getting out of here. I'm just talking to you about objective data. You understand? The objective data is I have a report here that indicates that you started to take medication, and you've been taking medication for stress for a very long time, and in your own hand or in the hand of another professional, it does say that you did in fact attempt suicide, something that you didn't tell me. I have the defendant who probably, based upon his own statements and based upon the statements of his witness, wasn't too bright, because if he takes women on his ski-doo, what he does is he either holds on to the back of the jacket, puts his hand around his waist, and not be stupid, and grab them onto their waist where you might put your hands in and around their thigh area. That isn't smart. Do you understand? Not smart. That does not necessarily make you a sexual deviant. Okay. He says he did not do this. Your mother says she observed certain bruising on your thighs. The medical records indicate that the doctor who you saw during the month of August noted redness.
But not scratches.
There is no medical evidence of scratches, madam. If you went to the doctor immediately after this incident, which you did not do, and the doctor had looked at you and saw nail scratches, nail marks, something.
Ma'am, when I went to the doctor, he's known me so long, being so strong with my mom, that he didn't even look, he didn't even check. He just walked out of the room.
That may be, but this is the objective data that I do not have, which is probably why the police department there chose not to prosecute him.
Ma'am.
There was a prosecutor that wanted to. He kept having it postponed, and they put somebody else in there who dropped the case.
It's been postponed and withdrawn for 7 months.
What I'm telling you is, when you have this kind of an assault, especially if you have this kind of an assault, and there was some indication that there was another child, a 13-year-old, who was not a witness here today, so I don't know that, was also inappropriately touched, then the prosecutors proceed. You may be 100% truthful. I, as a judge, have to deal with objective data. And based upon what I have seen, I cannot in good conscience label this man a sexual deviant. I cannot. Only you folks and your consciences know what happened that day. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. That's the back door.
30-year-old administrative assistant, Tara Burke, is suing her former roommate, 30-year-old masseuse Rebecca Martins, for forcing her to move. Rebecca is countersuing, claiming Tara broke their lease.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 191 on the calendar, the matter of Burke versus Martins. Thank you. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Burke, according to your complaint, in July of this year,
yes,
you moved in with the defendant, signing a 6-month lease with her.
Correct.
As a roommate.
Correct.
It was not a match made in heaven.
No.
it is your claim that 3 weeks later she forcibly evicted you from the premises. You are suing her for the expenses that you incurred as a result of that move.
Correct.
Okay. The defendant is counterclaiming, claiming that you breached your lease with her, you had no basis to move, and she claims that you did certain damage to the premises. Is that right?
Correct.
How did you find this roommate situation, Ms. Burke?
I have a copy of her ad in Roommate Finders. It's a roommate service, and I went through that service.
Did you find it online? Is that what you did?
Yes.
Okay. So when did you move in?
On July 25th.
And did you pay August's rent?
Yes, I did.
Which was $800?
Yes, I have a copy of all of my canceled checks.
I don't think that she denies that.
No,
And you
I don't.
paid an additional $400?
Yes, I did.
Is that right?
Yes.
All right, so what caused you to move?
Well, when I moved in, and actually when I came to look at the place, Miss Martinson informed me that she was a massage therapist and that she worked from her home. I wanted to know what kind of massage she performed, and I asked her specifically, is it like sports injury massage? And she said, oh yeah, that's basically what I do. And I said, well, what hours do you perform massage out of the house? And she told me it was strictly during the day. And I was fine with that. She was what I thought was a struggling mother who just had a child, and anyway, I don't want to ramble. Anyway, 2 nights after I moved in, I was walking from my bedroom to the kitchen, and in the living room were 2 naked people. The naked man was lying on his back on the massage table, and the naked woman, not Mrs. Martin's, was massaging the naked man in the portion of his body that should be covered by a towel. Your Honor, this is not true.
Just a minute. Go ahead.
It is true. I informed Miss Martins what I had seen, and she told me that she didn't know what was going on, and that she was very upset with her friend, and that she would take care of it, and that wouldn't happen again.
Someone else worked out of your house as well?
No, I had a girlfriend. She was there. She's here in the building. She would like to testify, just not on camera. She will testify that that is an incorrect statement.
Was she using your house at any time to give massages, whatever kind of massages they were?
She was spending the night, her and her boyfriend. What they were doing that night, I don't know.
She was, according to her, giving him a great massage.
A couple nights later, I walked out, and the same naked woman was there with a different naked man. This time she was crawling on top of the naked man.
In the living room?
Yes. And I informed Mrs. Martinson again. She promised again it wouldn't happen. I just wanted to believe that it wouldn't happen again. But it continued to happen. As a matter of fact, it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon this time, and her friend had come over with this third, different man, and they had gone into the back bedroom. And when I asked Rebecca about it, she stated that she didn't think that there was anything wrong with it, and that I told her that from what I had witnessed, it was basically prostitution in my definition, and that I'd worked far too hard for my goals. I'm also a full-time student, that I wasn't going to let what she was doing put me at risk because of these strange men coming in the house.
Is